Got a lot to break down from week 2 of the Bengals and the Cowboys. For that, we bring in Richard Skinner from Local12.com and Mo Egger from ESPN 1530. Let's just get right into it because we do have a lot to get to. Skinny, what do we take away from this week 2 game debacle? How do you want to describe it?
That the Browns and the Ravens lost in worse fashion. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. That's what I got for you. And they're only one game out of first place in part because of that. That's what I've got for you right now. Mo?
I am putting a moratorium on terms like explosive and high-powered in talking about the Bengals offense because I've used them a lot. I think a lot of us have. A lot of people around the country have. They're not explosive and they're not high-powered. When you watch what you've seen these first 2 weeks, those terms don't apply.
It seems like at halftime there were a lot of problems that Bengals fans had on social media with the way the offense was going, but you mentioned the explosiveness that just wasn't there. Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins almost didn't have to show up to the first half of the game. They weren't involved at all. Mo, with the play calling the way it was, is this on Zach Taylor or is this just on – this is the way that the Cowboys were – they had to play this way because they were sacking Burrow so much?
I don't know how Micah Parsons is ever a free runner at your quarterback. And
he did it multiple times.
And I saw that a lot today. I mean, that's not him obliterating a blocker, although he certainly did his share of that today. It was, we don't have a man on him. How do you go into a game not accounting for Micah Parsons? But I also thought, and I'm not a big play calling guy because I've never called an NFL play, but 3rd and 13, you're throwing a wide receiver screen, then you're punting. 3rd and 3, you're throwing short of the stick and punting away on your last offensive possession. But at the end of the day, Joe Burrow looked uncomfortable, and how could he not behind that offensive line with the way they played?
I go back to the whole offensive identity thing, and we fought this battle last year, especially in week 2 where they were empty so much against Chicago, and Joe Burrow had the infamous 3 plays in a row, 3 interception game. Second half, they got back to running the football.
The offseason, the offensive line was the main part of their free agency. They brought in veterans. They spent a lot of money. La'el Collins, there was the whole, he's Joe Burrow's bodyguard. No one's going to touch you now. Well, I hate to tell you, they're touching him more than they ever have. At what point do we look at, I think La'el Collins, he didn't practice at all in training camp. All 5 of them were out there all in training camp. Is this a thing where you think more time they're going to get better, Mo, or is this we need to start shuffling, maybe start trying out a few different things?
Well, I mean, given the money they spent on those guys, I find it hard to believe they're going to see wholesale changes.
And I ain't shuffling Hakeem Adeniji or Isaiah Prince into this mix.
That's a very good point.
I just ain't doing that.
So, I mean, it's you have to hope they coalesce quickly, and I know that makes me feel helpless talking about that, but that's what you have to hope. You have to hope that this group comes together very, very quickly. And I mean, like a week from today when they play the Jets, because imagine if we're talking about this team sitting at 0-3 with the Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa coming to town on Thursday Night Football.
That's where I go back to. Listen, you also got these guys to improve the run game, right? Mm-hmm. That's just part of the mantra of this. And they haven't blocked great for the run game, but you also haven't been consistently doing it. I say that knowing that Joe Mixon ran 27 times last week, but it never seemed like they got in a rhythm. Yeah. Second half today, they got in a rhythm running the football. And it was 3 yards here and 5 yards there and 4 yards here. And instead of being 3rd and 9 where Micah Parsons goes, I'm coming. You don't know where I'm coming from, but I'm coming. You know what? You were 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. Those are much more manageable situations to make first downs on. So while this line gels, run the damn ball.
I mean, we could stop the show right there. I don't think there's any point in going on, but we got the rest of the time to fill,
right.
So we're going to trudge through. Joe Burrow has not looked like Joe Burrow that we thought he would this year. A lot of that is it's a team game. The offensive line hasn't been great, but like you said before, Mo, he just doesn't really look comfortable. He doesn't have that same swagger, and you could see in the television broadcast, the look on his face was he was getting frustrated. He's had a lot of emotion on it. Should we be worried about long-term effects? I'm not just talking physically of dealing with a line like this and getting hit so much, but it's so much the mental game with the quarterback. Should we start to worry about Burrow going forward?
I don't want to get inside Joe Burrow's head. I'm not qualified to do that. I'm barely qualified to do this. But, I mean, if it was me, yeah. I mean, look, we've watched every single snap of Joe Burrow's NFL career. What I saw today was a guy who lacked confidence in the guys blocking for him and, to a degree, himself. That's a problem. And it's we could talk about, last year they had 8 months to fix it. Now they've got 7 days. Because that Jets game is not going to be easy.
That's
it's on
exactly
the road.
Right.
It's against a team that beat them last year, came from behind against the Browns. Like, okay, all of this gets fixed. Joe's more confident. What's their record by the time that happens? I guess that's the thing for me. We could say they're going to be fine. By the time they're fine, how uphill is the battle going to be just to get back to 500 or re-enter the playoff hunt or something like that?